Hey, what's up guys? It's Pedro here from NoobCoder.com, and in this tutorial I want to talk about inheritance as well as the super keyword. So what is inheritance? Now, we've actually been using inheritance without you guys even actually knowing it. So we created an animal class, but by default, every class that we create is an object. So here we have a hierarchy tree. So I have my animal class that I created, and its parent is actually the object class. So what do you get when you inherit stuff? Well, you get the methods, you get the fields, everything that this object class has. Now below my animal class, I have two other objects. I have my dog and cat that we are going to be creating, and they are going to inherit the properties of the animal class. So let's actually dive into this in code. So let's actually create our hierarchy tree that we saw in the diagram. So now we need to create the two classes, so dog and cat. Head over to your package explorer, go down to the default package, right click, new, class, type in dog, and let's do it one more time for cat. Now we have our two dog and cat classes. So how do we make it so that we have the diagram previously shown? So all we have to do to inherit from something is type in the keyword extends and then the name of the class. So now I'm saying, hey, I know I'm a dog, but my parent is of type animal. So I'm inheriting from our animal class that we created in the previous tutorial. So let's do the same thing for cat. It's animal. And now let's head over to our main.java. And now let's actually create an instance of dog. So I could say dog is equal to new dog. So what do you think is happening now? Well, dog is calling its no argument constructor. But wait a second, we just created dog. There is no argument constructor. This thing is empty. So dog, remember, every class gets its own no argument constructor by default, which doesn't do anything. But in this case, since we're using inheritance, head over to main. I can actually print out dog.getAge. And look what I get. I get the answer 18. So what's happening here? Dog doesn't have a no argument constructor. I haven't defined one. So what's happening is Java says, okay, dog's parent is an animal. Let's call animal's no argument constructor. We go to our animal, no argument constructor, name is Pedro, age is 18, weight 100. So our age is 18. But if we look at our main.java, we also see that dog inherited all its properties. So dog also has the getAge from our animal class, which is right here, and it just returns the age. So that's why we're getting 18. So what's happening is something called syntactic sugar. Java is doing something behind the scenes without you knowing it. So what it's doing is, it's actually, and let's actually write this in, public dog. So it's giving us our default constructor, but it's supering, and that's what the keyword is. It's called super. And super just means, hey, call my parent's constructor. So I could say super, like so. And if I run it, we get the same exact answer. So this is what Java is doing behind the scenes. Now, if I try to call another constructor, let's say string name from my animal class, let's see what happens. So we'll name this dog2 is equal to new dog. And we'll say Pedro. But wait a second, this one's giving us an error, and that's because Java is not doing this automatically for us. So if I run this, it says unresolved compilation problem, the constructor dog string is unidentified. So it doesn't know that we have a constructor. Doesn't know that we want to call our constructor from our animal class. So how can I fix this? Well, and this is the problem with syntactic sugar, because people do not know what's actually happening behind the scenes if I wouldn't have told you this. But we can easily fix this by giving our dog our one argument constructor that accepts a name. So string name. And now I can use super again, but this time I could pass in name. So I could say super and then the name that I passed in. And now if I execute this, you see my name is Pedro. So what's happening here? Java says, okay, I'm going to call the constructor for dog. Dog says, hey, super this, I want you to call my parent's constructor, pass in this name. Let's go to animal. Animal says, okay, I'll handle this. So it checks which constructors match by the signature. It says, okay, he's passing in a string, so it must be name. Use this constructor, print out my name. So that's why I get Pedro. So if this was a bit confusing, it wasn't meant to be, but trust me, play around with this and you'll get it. So I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Like, comment, subscribe.